The next to interpolate is Congressman Rodge Gutierrez. You are recognized.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, karamihan ng katanungan ko po ay natanong na, but I still have a few siguro to clarify, and I won't belabor any of the points previously raised. I'd like to direct my questions po to Commissioner Leonardo, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, alam ko po siguro na banggit nyo na rin po na isagot nyo yung ibang mga katanungan dito, pero just to really test the witness and to really, see how consistent yung narrative is po. Can you relate to us po yung history of your career from the PNPA up to this incident when you were CIDG for the region?
From the PNP, Mr. Chair, upon graduation, we were assigned at Special Action Force to undergo training. And then, 1998, Mr. Chair, I was assigned in November of 1998, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Chair. I was assigned in Compostela Valley Province, Mr. Chair. And then I stayed there for 3 years, and after 2 years, I was reassigned back to Camp Crame CIDG for a short period, Mr. Chair. And then I was reassigned to CIDG 11 2001, Mr. Chair. And then I've been transferred from different region like ARMM, Region 10, and then back to Manila for a short period again, and then back again to Davao in 2008, Mr. Chair. Then on 2014 to 2015, Mr. Chair, if I'm not mistaken, I was reassigned back to NCRPO. And then in Manila, Mr. Chair. And then July of 2016, I was reassigned back to Region 11 CIDG, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So to clarify po, you've been, na-destino po kayo sa Davao, Region 11, around 3 times, 3 separate periods. You have the CIDG 11 in 2001, and you were assigned in Region 11 in 2008, and then back to Region 11 in 2016. Tama po ba?
Opo, Mr. Tama.
Aggregate, how many years po kayo sa Davao?
Sa Davao po, since 1998, kasi pabalik-balik po. More or less, nasa mga more than 10 years po. Tansya ko lang po yon.
More than 10 years po. Of course, you were not regional director yet then. I assume this is different positions, but most of the time, CIDG po talaga. Tama po ba?
Mostly CIDG po ang pinakamahaba sa career ko as PNP member, Mr. Chair.
Pasensya na po for the clarification. Di po ako kasi familiar with the organization of the PNP. Kapag po kayo ay CIDG, I understand merong region and meron rin po sa city. Were you assigned to the city for some time?
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
Anong
Davao
period
City.
po yun? Davao City mismo. Ito po ba yung sinasabi po ninyo na 2008 or yung 2001?
2001, hindi po ako chief, pero sa region po ng
Region.
CIDG. Pero located in Davao City rin po yan.
Opo. Iba yung kampo po nung CID, iba yung location ng CIDG region, tapos yung CIDG city, or within the same campo ba?
Magkalapit lang po.
Magkalapit.
Almost, magkalapit lang po.
Okay. So 2001 sa region po kayo na-assign. Yung 2008 po, is this in the city or sa region?
2008, city po.
City naman po
City.
to. And of course, yung 2016, regional head na po ito.
Regional
Regional head. Thank you. But in all these cases, Mr. Chair, the office is within Davao City po talaga. So you'd say, parang native ka na rin po ng Davao. Is that safe to assume?
I reside po in Davao, Mr. Chair.
Tubong Davao po talaga kayo?
Tondo, Manila po. But upon graduation, dun po ako nakapag-asawa, dun na rin po ako nagsettle, Mr. Chair.
So upon graduation?
Upon graduation po.
So that would be 1998, correct po, Mr. Chair?
Opo, Mr. Chair.
So from 1998 up to now, you hold residence in Davao. Tama po ba?
Sa Davao, Tagum po muna eh. Natira po muna ako sa Tagum. city. And then,
Which is not far, Mr. Chair. No?
2000, oh, yeah po.
Okay.
Province po ng Davao Region.
Okay. So 1998 up until now, Tagum area, Davao area. So sa Davao area na po talaga.
Davao po ako nakatira.
Davao talaga.
Up to now, Mr. Chair.
Tubong Tondo. So from 1998 to now, although you were assigned in Davao, close to home, since doon na po yung residence nyo, from 2011, 2001, 2008, 2016, pabalik-balik po kayo sa Davao. When you were assigned in ARM, assigned in Region 10,
Opo.
when you were assigned in Krame, you would go
Yes
back
po,
to
Mr.
Davao.
Chair.
Okay. Would you know, Mr. Chair, kung bakit po kayo na-assign sa Davao? Is this something like yung nabanggit ni Colonel Garma na you have 3 choices of regions or upon whose selection this is?
Doon pa, pinapili po kami ng mga region din. Ganun din po ang nangyari sa akin. Luckily, napunta po ako, Region 11, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, curious lang po ako sa kultura ng PNPA. I understand very close-knit group po kayo. And there's a term po, no? Ano yung tawag po ninyo as a group? Mista po ba yun? Or
Bok po, karamihan po sa amin, Bok po ang tawagan po namin, Mr.
wala po?
Chair.
Is there a name, I understand, na as a collective group? Lakan? Something like that? Tama po?
Lakan, kasi po parang pinag-isa po yun. Kasi may yung pong gender, equality. So, it was decided that we address each other Lakan po. Pero Bok pa rin po, pagka magkakakilala. It's more practicable para sa amin yung Bok, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. So, BOC naman. So, generally close po ang mga cadet ng PNPA. In a batch, for example, gano'ng karami po kayo in 1998?
Ako po kasi, originally 1996, nakagraduate po ako 1998.
Bakit
so,
po?
meron po akong lacking requirements po during that time.
So, for originally
98 po, I think more than 300 po kami nung gumraduate po.
300 po.
Mr. Chair.
And maybe ask Colonel Garma for 90, ano po kayo? 97?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Ilan po kayo na batchmates?
Pumasok po kami, umabot po kami ng more than 350. Then we graduated mga 176, I think, Your Honor.
176. So, very elite few lang po, no, ang PNPA. Usually, marami na po siguro yung 300, and in 1997, konti nga pala po, 176. And going up and down, usually ang maabutan nyo is how many years of batches po? 4 years up, 3 years up, 3 years down. Would that be a fair statement?
Nung time po namin, ang abutan po namin, yung senior sa amin at saka yung junior sa amin. Yung alimbawa po, sa case namin, ako po 96, ang inabutan ko po yung 97. Tapos yung 95 naman po yung upper class namin.
Okay. So usually just 1 year up, 1 year down. Yun yung mga kahalubilo po ninyo sa PNPA.
Yes po, nung time po kasi namin ay 2 years pa lang po.
2 years po.
Mr.
Okay.
Chair.
So in that case, we're looking at most 3 batches at a time na at least magkasama. And nagkaabutan po kayo ni Colonel Garma. I see. I mean, the point was belabored na magkakilala naman po kayo, magkaibigan, and understandably as batchmates in the PNPA. Pero may I ask, during your stint po, let's be specific, yung nangyari po itong incident in 2016, ilan po kayong batch 97, 98 na-assign sa Davao?
97.
If I remembered it correctly, Mr. Chair, parang sa 98, parang 10 po. More or less 10 po.
Mga 10 lang po. And yung sa 97?
Mr. Chair, noong 2016, before my schooling, I think parang 4 lang ata kami, Mr. Chair. Yes.
So yung magkakaabutan from PNPA to be assigned in a certain area, sobrang slim po yung chances nun, no? Kasi from 300, konti na lang po kayo sa batch. At most 300, 170. And of course, assigned to the different regions. Of course, it makes sense na kung with the officership being distributed, konti lang po yun. Mabibilang sa yung dalawang kamay kung sino po yung mga kasama nyo na classmate in the area at any given time.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Would that just be coincidence po siguro? In the way that the allegations have fallen upon... I'll ask po si Colonel Leonardo. Sa opinion niya po, ano po yung iyong opinion sa mga paratang na nandun po sa sinumpang salaysay ni... I believe yung sa iyo po, nabanggit po kayo ni Mr. Tan. How do you react to that? You deny it outright po, no?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Would you have any idea po kaya, Mr. Chair, kung how would he even know your name? Or bakit kayo pa, of all the people in Davao, kayo pa po yung naituro ni Mr. Tan?
I have no idea, Mr. Chair, bakit binabanggit niya yung pangalan ko, Mr. Chair.
And together with Colonel Leonardo, si Mr. Tan also mentioned in his affidavit, paragraphs 3, 16, 17, also pointed to Colonel Garma. Colonel Garma, may I ask you po, would you have any idea bakit kayo po yung tinuturo ni Mr. Tan?
Hindi ko rin po alam, Mr. Chair.
So sa affidavit po ni Mr. Tan, nakachamba po siya ng dalawang PNPA na batch 97-98 na nagsama sa Davao. Coincidentally lang po.
Mr. Chair, I do not know his intention, Mr. Chair.
Well, I think it's not just si Mr. Tan po, no? Kahit well, of course, si Mr. Fortaleza hindi na po yung chamba. For him to mention you, Colonel Garma, from paragraphs 2 to 8, syempre kilala po kayo. Kayo po ay classmates, no? So I don't think there's any doubt. As to the motives of Mr. Fortaleza, that's yet for us to decide. But for Mr. Padilla po, who has nothing to do exactly with the PNP structure, he's mentioned you multiple times from paragraphs 5 to 10. And siguro naman po ito hindi chamba because you admitted to, although you don't admit to the facts in his sinumpang salaysay, you admit to knowing him, so it's not a coincidence po naman siguro. Would that be a fair statement, Colonel Garma?
It's not a fair statement, Mr. Chair, Your Honor.
Can you explain po?
You know, he lied on the first hearing. The second hearing, because he was detained, might be he realized that sa kanya lahat ang siyang may kasalanan. He need a fall guy. And it's easy to just blend on the facts presented during the first hearing. And it's easy to say he feared his life, Mr. Chair.
In the same way that he said he feared his life because of you.
Hindi po ako nakakatakot, Mr. Chair. Perception lang nila yun, pero hindi po ako nakakatakot.
Well, I'll take your statement as it is po. And I agree. Tama rin naman po. But that's why we're here. We take our evidences together and we assess them as a committee. Yet, you can only talk about the statement of Mr. Padilla. But how do we account for the statements of Mr. Tan, Mr. Andy, that would pin you? How do we take into consideration the statement of Mr. Las Cañas that has pinned both of you, coincidentally, to Lacans, Box, in Davao, coincidentally natag po? And how do we now explain the coincidence also that you both face cases with the ICC? That's not a question, sorry. I'm just wondering here po, no? Because, like we said po, the basis for our evidence here, it's a he said, she said thing. But there are a lot of hymns saying that she did it. And there's only her saying that she did not. In the case of Mr. Leonard, of course, he's also saying that he did not. I think that's just something for us to consider moving forward. We're not saying this with finality, pero again, as with the seems to be the theme of this committee hearing, maraming coincidences abound. And I think I would have more questions, but I'll reserve it for a future time. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Ms. Garma. Thank you, Commissioner Leonard.
Thank you,